Hi. So I'm going to get right into it. The show that I decided to watch, other than Criminal Minds, is Law and Order Special Victims Unit. This specific show was called um, Decline and Fall. Just a little bit of feedback or insight on Decline and Fall. It is a very old man who is well off in business decides to throw his 75th birthday party, and he has a grandson who is trying to learn how to get the attention of young women. Um, and so at this party, the grandson finds a young lady that is working there. They kind of enjoy each other's company. Party ends, and comes to find out, she wakes up the next day and she's laying there. Her pants are down, and she has forgotten where she was or what happened or what has kind of prevented her from being able to go home in a normal situation. Come to find out, we learned that the young boy and the young girl did indeed have consensual sex. However, there were two DNA traces of semen, one from the younger boy, and then we come to find out that the 75-year-old grandfather decided to slip some pills into her drink, have her unconscious, rape her, and then he thought it was normal. Fortunately, he's having some mental issues, but we don't allow that to be an okay situation. In fact, he is guilty, and everything all works out at the very end. So, going to Aristotle's artistic proofs, did the speaker have credibility or ethos? One person that I really want to pinpoint in this show, there are so many characters, they all play a very big role, but I think one person that I really want to pinpoint is Barbs. I feel like I can't say it, but he's the attorney. He is our guy that is smart and intelligent and has just does so much research and is able to win, if not all of the trials, most of them. And so I want to pinpoint him because I think that a lot of these questions he's really good at. He's really strong in them. So Barbers, he is credible. He's obviously done his work, his school, in order to land this job first and foremost. I think that his character is strong. I think that he's very intelligent, integrity, goodwill. I think he's credible to be here asking the questions to the suspects and to the people that are going to help us get justice for the young lady that was raped. What emotional proofs or pathos the speaker used. And so when we go into pathos, the persuader's appeals to the emotions of the audience and the situation. I think that he does a really good job with that, simply because he's asking all of the right questions to the right people, having the young boy come up there. He asked questions about their relationship with the grandfather. He asked questions about what happened that night. A little bit in the show, we find out, the audience finds out that the young boy was not aware of their relationship that his father and grandfather had. And we later understand that the reason why the young man's mother and father got a divorce was because the grandfather raped his mother. And the father could not look past that, so we got a divorce. All of that was hidden from the young boy who loved his grandfather a lot and tried to save him from this situation. So the audience, we then learned that with the young boy not knowing that information, he was going to protect his grandfather. Later, we realized that when he knows this information and he realizes what his grandfather's actions and how it ruined his small family, he gets on stage and he decides to expose what really happened, and he decides he doesn't want to save his grandfather. And so I think that Barbers does a good job with that, of appealing to the audience, and he's able to ask the right questions, so he's able to kind of let everyone in the courtroom kind of understand the tension and the emotions and the feelings going into this, why these answers are being asked, why he's responding to it, how his grandfather's actions have not only affected his family, but his relationships in the future as well. How did the speaker use logic or logos? And this persuader appeals to the rational side of the audience as well as their ability to process the information. Again, when you have done your research and you've asked all these questions, you've been able to let your audience kind of figure out, okay, is this guy guilty? Did he do something inappropriately? Do we use his mental disability and say that he didn't know what he was doing? Or he is getting to the age now where he has Alzheimer's? Or is he getting through an age? Is he using his age as a way to confuse the audience and say, oh, well, he's old and he doesn't understand? You know, so I think that Barbara does a good job with, again, doing what he needs to do in order to make sure that this man is guilty, and by that proving to the courtroom, to the judge, that this is insane. You shouldn't be able to get away with this because you're 75, and back in the day you thought it was okay to put pills in somebody's drink and get them all crazy. So I think that Barbara does a really good job with this. After watching the whole episode, what do you think were the attributed intentions of the writer of this episode? I think that the intentions of this writer, again, was, for me, someone watching the show and loving it, I think it was for entertainment. But if I want to go deeper into a situation, I will also say that this was just to continue bringing awareness. Although these shows continue to say that nobody was harmed or that this wasn't real, that's really good. But I do know in all reality, things like this can happen to people. It doesn't stop. It doesn't just stop now, or it hadn't stopped years ago. We don't have to worry about people being raped and molested and affected. So I think this is not only entertainment, not only is this great crime, mystery, genre feels, but this is also, again, bringing awareness that these type of things can happen. You have to be very careful. Next thing, we're going to talk about a show, important or more important character from a show that I truly relate to. So describe a TV show character that you identify with using Burke's definition of identification. Why do you identify with this character? I decided that I identified with Being Mary Jane. This is with Gabrielle Union, and she is a sports news journalist, caster, something along those lines. And I think that I identify with her, one, because we're both black, two, because what she's wanting or what she's doing in this show is something similar to what I want to do. With my degree, I want to be a sports commentator. And so we're both going to be in front of TV shows, the TVs, cameras, and we're both going to be discussing or talking about whatever the topic is to a crowd of people. They're going to be watching us. Views count. Views matter. And so I see a beautiful black woman succeeding in that field. And so when I think about her show and I think about the situations that she's been able to experience, I think about her family situations, when I think about the shows have been incredible, and because they've been so recent, they do also discuss Black Lives Matter, and they do kind of discuss situations that could be a little bit touchy. But overall, I think that we really have a lot of things in common because we're both in that field, and we're both having to deal with sometimes being the minority of things and having to say, hey, I got to get through this. I got to fix this. I got to do my best in this job, even if the odds are against me. I got to keep putting in the work, even though people don't want to see me succeed, you know? So I think that we have a lot in common when it comes down to learning personnels, but also learning how to be successful in situations where, for most, they would quit. They wouldn't continue going. So I gave you, in this same show, try to identify the values of the show. This values feminism, it values family, it values strong black women, it values boldness and creativity. I think that this show really has a lot of things that women can look up to. I know at times it can be very inappropriate, very sexual. It has a lot of content that can be questionable for younger viewers, but I think that for the most part, when you look deeper into not just the entertainment, but think about ways that she's experienced relationships with men, and that sometimes this job field doesn't allow you to have a great relationship, or maybe it does. But this really just values a lot more deeper situations other than the entertainment. So now we're going to look at the various groups, pages, social media. I'm going to identify a very popular show, one with a large fan base, and I decided that Grey's Anatomy is a big one. Various group shows, social media pages, sites, products-driven gatherings established by fans. Describe a few of them. I got on my phone and decided to go on Instagram and Twitter and go over Grey's Anatomy, hashtag Grey's, hashtag certain characters, and I was very shocked, very impressed. We have some Grey's Anatomy fans and lovers like nobody's business. The pages were very overwhelming. They were very, they had a bunch of videos, they had a bunch of pictures, a bunch of fan pages, just fan page after fan page. It did take me some time to find the actual pages of the characters because there are so many fan pages. But overall, just overwhelming and just a bunch of love. I see people really, really love these shows, and they're very popular. They've done a really good job with meeting the needs. I even saw like blood stuff. They're not, I get sometimes mixed up with crime and stuff, but we have your doctors, and so there are a bunch of even pages of their work that they've done to help people stay alive or fix people up. So it's pretty extreme. And a phrase or symbol from the show that has gone viral. There is one let's see. So Christina Yang, she discusses. She was very, very not one of my favorites, but one saying is "You're my person." That's very popular. A lot of people say that. I think I've heard a lot of people say. Tequila is the answer. That's another one that has been very, I hear that a lot. I heard that a lot when I was watching it a while back. So, yeah, those are all of the questions. I enjoyed watching these shows and figuring some stuff out. Thanks.